Next, we are going to install the Facebook Pixel if it already hasn't been installed. The Facebook Pixel is a piece of code that allows Facebook to communicate with your website so that it can get all the data it needs to help optimize your ads. Here's a couple of questions that I get when you're installing the Facebook Pixel. First of all, where do I install it? You install it everywhere. You install it on every single page that you have on your website and your landing pages and your thank you pages. Maybe you have your website at abc.com and maybe you have a subdomain that is landingpage.abc.com. You want to put the pixel everywhere there, okay? This way, Facebook can actually get the data from everywhere. You don't just want to have it on your landing page because we can actually leverage people who are visiting your website as well in advertising. So I want Facebook to have all of that information. And in fact, even if you're not ready to start ads right away, here's a bonus tip for you. Install the Pixel as soon as your site goes live so that it is already collecting data, so that by the time you are starting ads with some data that Facebook already has about your website and the people visiting your website. So you don't have to start completely from scratch. Now, the next question is, how do I install it? Okay, so there are a couple of different ways, and I'm going to walk you through how to install it inside of WordPress and Google Tag Manager, which seem to be the most popular ones. And it really does depend on what you are using for your website. So I can show you how to install it for some of the basic ones, but what I would actually do is speak to your developer and have them install it for you. So the first way I'm going to show you is with Google Tag Manager, because I actually recommend that people use Google Tag Manager. It's totally free. And if you want to have a very simple tutorial on how to use Google Tag Manager, I've linked out to it in the description here on this module so that you can jump over there. But it's a really handy way to manage all the pixels that you would need, especially if you want to use Google and TikTok and like other places to run ads as well. So here we are inside of Google Tag Manager, and I'm just going to walk you through how to install the Facebook Pixel from here. And what Google Tag Manager is it's free, it's 100% free, and it is owned by Google. And what you do is you put one set of code inside of your website. Then you use this interface to add any other codes that you need. You don't have to log into the backend of your website to do it. You can just do it all in here. So it's much easier and faster. The first thing you need to do is you need to get your pixel information. So here's where you're going to get that. Go to business.facebook.com, and up here in All Tools, you're going to click Events Manager. You notice mine was over here too. So wherever you can find Events Manager, you want to go there. So let's click on it. Here, because this is a new pixel, I'm just going to click Continue Pixel Setup. And I'm going to click Facebook Pixel here. I'll cover Conversions API in a moment, but I'm just going to click Facebook Pixel. I'm just showing you the most easiest way to do this right now. And I'm going to click Connect. Then I'm going to click Manually Add Pixel to the website. If you are using Shopify or WordPress or Squarespace, these are partners with Facebook to make it even easier for you to install the pixel. But I'm going to show you how to do it manually, so this way you've got this. And then you can kind of use the easier ways too if those are available to you. So I'm going to click Install Code Manually, and I'm just going to click Copy Code over here. And then it says paste the base code to your website just above the head tag. So let me show you how to do that inside of Google Tag Manager. In Google Tag Manager, I'm just going to click Add New Tag, and you just call it whatever you want, Facebook Pixel. Okay. And then under here, under Tag Configuration, I'm going to scroll down till I see Custom HTML, and then I'm just going to paste that code that Facebook gave me just right here. Under Advanced Settings, I put Tag Firing Priority 2. That's going to put it in the header. And then under Triggering, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to click All Page Views. And then I'm going to click Save. And then I'm going to click Submit. And it's going to publish. I'm not going to do that right now, but That's all you have to do. And that's how you install the Facebook Pixel via Google Tag Manager on all of your pages. Okay? Let me show you how you would do it inside of WordPress, which is another popular way of having landing pages and installing it. So in the back end of your WordPress site, if you go to plugins, there actually is a Facebook plugin. So I want to find the one that says Facebook for WordPress. There's a whole bunch of plugins that come up when you type in Facebook, but I'm looking for the Facebook for WordPress plugin, and I'm just going to click install. All right, now I've activated it, and you can see it's here in the middle of my screen, and I'm just going to click settings, and it's going to walk me through here. So I'm just going to click get started, and then I'm going to log into Facebook, continue, yes, continue. And it's going to ask me what ad account and Facebook Pixel, etc. to choose. So just walk through, select your account, select the business manager and select the account. No, I'm going to select the Pixel and I'm going to click continue. And you can see here it's all good. I'm going to enable automatic advanced matching because why not? It's going to help more. You want to take a look at the other options here. I'm happy with them all to be selected because the more data that Facebook has, the better it's going to be, right? And I'm just going to click continue. And let's see, what is WordPress allowed to do? Yes, let it do everything so that it gives as much information as possible, and then it's going to link it for me. And that's all you need to do to install it inside of WordPress. I'm going to click done. If for whatever reason you do not want to use the Facebook Pixel here, then and then I would just say yes, agree. So you basically just want to say yes, yes, yes. I'm not going to continue this because this site does not match the pixel I just created, so I don't want to mess that up. But if for whatever reason you do not want to use this, then what you need to do is just make sure you ask your developer to put it in the head tag, okay? And just have your developer do that. So then here I'm just going to click continue, and I've turned on automatic advanced matching. I like that. Next it says add the event code. So we're going to get to that when we're creating the conversion events next. And then it's going to ask us to verify domains, and I'm going to get to that as well, which is next, and configure the web events. So now that we've installed the Pixel, we're going to create our conversion events and add the event code. As a reminder, there are many, many different ways for actually installing it, depending on the technology that you're using. So if you do need tech support, I suggest that you do talk to the person who helped you create your landing page and your website in the first place to see if they can help you. A lot of times programs like Leadpages or ClickFunnels or Convertri, whatever you're using for landing pages, they already have a section on how to install the Facebook Pixel there. So I would follow what they are advising you to do. Now, before we move on to creating conversion events, I did want to also cover browser versus server and testing best practices. So you may have heard about this possibly, but there are two ways of installing the Facebook Pixel. One is by browser and one is by server. Really simply, browser just means that it gets information when people click on the website and they're measuring it by something called cookies. When you choose server, the actual server is communicating directly with Facebook server. So in theory, it should be more reliable. And in fact, when I installed the plugin over here inside of my WordPress account, or sorry, my WordPress website over here, Facebook for WordPress, this is actually installing it as a server. So the server information on my WordPress website is going to be communicating directly with Facebook to get them the information that they need. So that's actually a good thing. Now, the downside of this, let me just kind of go back here. As you remember, as we were going at the beginning, it asked us which way we wanted to install the Pixel. So when you see here that says Conversions API, that is the techie way of saying, yes, install the Pixel via server, so that one server is talking to another server, so that my server is going to talk to the Facebook server. It's beyond the scope of this training to go into all the different ways that you can install the server because it's quite technical. In fact, I usually hire somebody to help me with some of the coding depending on whether we need to do it manually. The good news is that there are a growing list of companies who are partnering with Facebook to have the server or the conversions API enabled, and they make it really, really, really easy. So I'm just going to click here next just to show you what would happen. So I like to use a partner integration because, again, I like to keep things really simple. And so there's a number of different partners here and it's growing. And in fact, there are partners here that aren't listed. So for example, I use Thrivecart, and Thrivecart has instructions inside of their help on how to connect the conversions API. They're not listed here, but they have it on there. So go take a look at the help desk of whatever you're using. WordPress is already here, which we installed. If you have WooCommerce, if you have Shopify, then it also has a really easy way as well of connecting the conversions API. Notice here it says Google Tag Manager and it says server side. This is quite complex and requires a paid account with Google. I would not recommend you go this way unless you have the technology support in order to do that. You can also do it through Zapier as well. And if that's something you're interested, let me know and I can create a separate training on how to connect it with Zapier. If you can't figure it out, Zapier does tend to be one of the easier ways to connect everything. It's just that it can get expensive because you do have to pay for every single Zap that goes through there. So I try and use something that's already built in. And like I said, you can check back over here, but definitely check in the help documents of whatever software you're using to see if they already have something. And what you're searching for is conversions API or server, say something like setting up server side pixel tracking or something like that. And finally, you want to make sure that it is firing. And quite all you have to do is use the pixel helper that I showed you how to do in the previous module, and I'll show you one more way that you can test it out, and that's in the Events Manager. So when we're in the Events Manager over here, you'll notice that there are a couple of headings at the top. I'm going to click Test Events. What you want to do down here is just paste your URL in here. So let me paste we were using AdSkills before, right? As an example, and I'm just going to click open website. So it's going to open the website, but then, and nothing's going to happen over here. All it did was open the website up. I'm just going to go back over here and you should give it a minute and it should, there. You notice how it actually just refreshed. It refreshed because AdSkills is not connected to this pixel here. See? So this is what happens when nothing is connected properly. And it says here, not receiving activity, and it gives you a couple steps to do. So let's try this again. Here's an example of one that fired correctly. I've just blurred out some of the information because it is confidential, but you can see here that it says the page view was processed. So this did not have a conversion event and it was from the browser. So it just gives me some information. If I did have a conversion event set up, then it would show lead, purchase, add to cart, whatever it was that was set up here as well. This is also a great way for you to test and see what Facebook sees when you put in the web page for testing events. So you can test with the Facebook Pixel Helper, and you can also test here in the testing events section in the business.facebook.com. So now that you have your base Facebook Pixel installed, the next thing we want to do is create your conversion events.